Hello everyone and welcome back to another Warframe video. In today's guide, I just want to talk about the current state of Chroma after some tweaks and additions that Digital Extremes implemented to the Warframe. First off, let's discuss his new augment called Guardian Armor. I don't know about you, but initially I thought that Digital Extremes would do something drastic to get Chroma more involved in team composition. I was excited when Pablo said that this augment would have an affinity range, because this means that I don't need to change my narrow-minded build for the Warframe. The 50 meters range will be sufficient enough to somehow get me excited with this new augment, because I thought that my allies will also take less damage with the new augment. I was hoping that Chroma would be better in team composition with this new augment, as he will be turned into some sort of paladin, supporting the team with damage reduction through the new augment. I was mad to think like this, as its main purpose is to somehow increase the likelihood of getting the buff from Vex armor as fast as possible, while maintaining it throughout the whole mission if your squad has a decent kill speed. In addition, the developer added a feature wherein every kill done by your squad will heal a percentage of Chroma's health over 3 seconds. While it's not the augment I expected, it's turning out to be a decent augment for the Warframe, as it doesn't just help you get the buffs from Vex armor, but it also helps you maintain it and increase your energy economy. The energy economy can then be used to further improve your survivability or be an effective support to your team with the crazy amount of armor and weapon damage buff that Chroma's third ability can give. In addition, this gives you another build variation wherein you don't have to rely on Heat Chroma to restore your health or Ice Chroma to further increase your armor. With the health regeneration feature, there is a possibility that you can build for either a Toxin or Electric build for this Warframe. The only problem though is that building for Electric Chroma also requires range if you somehow want that arc lightning effect of the ability. By the way, damage transfer triggers Electricity Elemental Ward and counts as if it was a direct hit caused by an enemy that has 10 times base multiplier instead of the self-inflicted damage, which only has 1 times base multiplier. You might end up replacing Narrow-Minded for Prime Continuity to equip a range mod, but it's interesting to see a new Chroma build variation. And the fact is, Guardian Armor does extend the duration of Vex Armor, so you won't be needing too much duration mod in your build. It's all aligning pretty well, until I got hit by that large brick wall of reality that the augment needs a lot of things, and it's not as efficient as I thought it would be in team composition. The augment has good intentions and design, but it's like a double-edged sword for me, wherein on one side it grants you features for the Vex Armor that supposedly should be in its base form, and on the other side you will get fuck up once the enemy level gets high enough that one hit from enemies means lethal instant death for you, even if you are only taking half of that damage dealt to your ally. This is the biggest weakness of the augment, and I highly advise that if you want to do missions against level 300 and beyond enemies, then don't ever bring this augment, as you will be a burden on the team. Even with the health regeneration, the augment fails to negate the 50% damage to health. Now, I am still not sure, but I think the damage reduction from all the armor you get, plus the adaptation mod, helps trim down the damage dealt to your health. However, this is unreliable, since if your adaptation mod has 90% damage resistance against slash damage, but a crazy Blitz Xmas unit just molested your ally with heat damage, then that damage reduction would be pointless. In addition, once you drop down to double-digit numbers in your health, it will be hard to regenerate health with the augment's feature, since it only gives you a percentage of your health value over 3 seconds, and not a flat health restore in an instant. Based on my experience testing the new augment, it's more dangerous to have this in your build and not worth the benefit that it gives. There's another option though that you can use with this augment, and this is by adding quick thinking in your build. This allows you to somehow recuperate health, as when you take lethal damage, then the game will start using your energy as health while you have quick thinking in your mod setup. The build is solid when it comes to giving Chroma survivability, as you gain the full benefit of the new Guardian Armor augment without having to worry that you will get fuck up by huge damage that's not even intended for you. However, don't expect this to be an all-rounder solid survivability setup. As with modifiers in deep Archimedia that drain energy, a quick thinking build will not be as effective as running normal Steel Path missions in the game. In addition, if you want to add quick thinking, then you'll need to invest more energy by adding primed flow, and by doing so, you will need to sacrifice power strength mods in your build. This will lead you to invest in Tau Forged Archon Shard, just to get back the power strength you have lost from adding the quick thinking, primed flow, and Hunter Adrenaline setup in your build, and this is just to boost your confidence in using the Guardian Armor augment for your Chroma. The augment also loses its purpose with the recent changes that Digital Extremes did to Chroma's Vex Armor. As I have said, one of the key roles of Guardian Armor is to help Chroma get the buffs from Vex Armor fast, but Digital Extremes did add a feature to Chroma right now that allows him to build up his Fury buff through range kills and getting his Scorn buff by killing enemies with your melee weapon. With these changes, the only purpose that Guardian Armor now serve is to somehow maintain the Vex Armor's duration. But in my opinion, the augment is unnecessary also for this purpose if you are playing Chroma smart. The augment does proc the energy fun for mods like Hunter Adrenaline, but I would prefer getting a direct hit from an enemy and replenishing my energy to recast my abilities than to get random hits that could kill my Chroma in an instant. To be honest, sometimes I wish that instead of just armor values, let Chroma have the 95% damage reduction instead to propel his survivability. I mean, Digital Extremes nailed the Vex armor buff by allowing Chroma to gain Fury and scorn buffs actively by killing enemies, so I think it would be good at least to give the Warframe full damage reduction just like Mirage Eclipse ability. Right now, the Warframe is playable because of his Vex armor and Elemental Ward. Aside from that, the Warframe doesn't offer anything to co-op gameplay. If they truly want Chroma to be a co-op friendly Warframe, then it would be good if the Guardian Armor augment could mitigate a portion of the damage dealt by enemies to his allies. Then tweak the augment so that it will give a flat health bonus instead of just a percentage, because he doesn't have any overguard gating mechanic wherein you have a few seconds of invulnerability to gain overguard again. In addition, instead of Vex armor being affected by range, the augment will allow both damage and damage reduction buffs of Vex armor to affect allies within affinity range. However, your allies won't get the same buff numbers though, as that would be super busted. Maybe try to trim it down to 50% of your original Scorn and Fury buff. Chroma is one of the best looking Warframe right now in my loadout, and while I do enjoy the Warframe despite its lackluster kit, I'm still hoping that one day I can make a Chroma video that doesn't have comments saying that he looks fine as hell, but sadly I don't enjoy his playstyle. It's really sad to see that Dante is outperforming this Warframe when it comes to survivability with his overguard mechanic. Supposedly Chroma should be a tanky Warframe, but the reality now is that the Warframe is even carried with overguard mechanics from Warframes like Dante and Styanax. We also have shield gating, overguard gating, and even shield tanking right now, and Chroma is left with increasing his armor, but only to be still outshined by another tanking setup in Warframe nowadays. I'm really over with requesting Digital Extremes on buffing the damage side of the Warframe, but I do hope that the new team right now will take a look at his survivability and overall gameplay in a team setup. The only way I can see Chroma being more involved in team composition is that he can be a Warframe that can help the team with his buffs and also mitigate damage to help them survive. Take note that these are just my suggestions, and I'm hoping that someday we will see Digital Extremes make Chroma great again. By the way, if you want to play a Guardian Armor build Chroma right now, then play it solo as the health regeneration and as well as the duration extending feature still works. In fact, it's better playing Chroma solo right now, and the changes on how he can build up his Vex armor buff is spot on. Now, I would also love to know your thoughts about the current state of Chroma and Warframe right now. Let us discuss in the comments section below. Before doing so, please help support the channel by simply subscribing to us and then liking and sharing this video. This will mean a lot to us in staying relevant to YouTube and giving you quality content every time. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope we see you again in our next video. Squad Leader, signing off.